Hey there everyone, thanks for joining me for another episode of Game Chat. Today on this episode, what I'd really like to talk with you about is the Nintendo 64 Expansion Pack. Now, if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, let me just give you an example. Take the typical Nintendo 64. Mine is the turquoise blue see-through color. I've actually got a couple of Nintendo 64s, but this is my original. The one that I bought when the Nintendo 64 was brand new. I have the box for this. I've got the original controller that came with it. It is my pride and joy. On the lid of the Nintendo 64, you see a small hatch right here, which can come right off, and this is the expansion port. And underneath, you see right here the expansion pack for the Nintendo 64. The expansion pack, what this is a RAM expansion. And if you're into computers at all, you know what the RAM does. RAM just allows your computer to do a little bit more. Your computer can draw on a little bit more resources. And so the expansion pack is just additional resources for your Nintendo 64. Now, originally, I want to show you something. The Nintendo 64 comes with this. And I apologize for the lighting here, but what this is just a little black box, and it's got a little chip on the bottom, or a little cartridge pin, and this is the Nintendo 64 Jumper Pack. And so it's got a little bit of RAM in here, but the expansion pack increases the RAM. Now, when you get the expansion pack, it should come with this, a little gray tool. And, oh man, the lighting is really terrible in here today. What this gray tool is it allows you to pry out the jumper pack of the Nintendo 64. And the way that it works is it slips underneath the jumper pack or expansion pack, and you can pry it out so then you can lift out the old jumper pack, or in this case, the expansion pack. Now, to tell the two packs apart, the jumper pack should be all black, plain, boring, and it says jumper pack. The expansion pack has the nice little red grill on top. So what's really great is if you're looking for used Nintendo 64s online and all you have to go off is a picture, look for the Nintendo 64 that has the red grill on top. Now, a lot of the times the little cover is removed from this. Sometimes people just play with them too much and then it breaks off and they lose it. When they get rid of it, they sell it to a pawn shop, a secondhand store. And so you can tell just by looking at pictures that this has the expansion pack with it. Or when Nintendo came out with their Play It Loud series, such as this, they came out with consoles that are see-through. And so a lot of times you can't actually see through that blue, or there are different colors like orange, red, green, possibly purple. You can see through there, and you can see that maybe you can't tell if it's red or not, but you can see the little dot pattern inside the expansion pack cover. So anyway, that's the expansion pack. But what does it do? Like I said, it gives more resources for your Nintendo 64 to draw off of. But where do those actually come into play? Now, there are a handful of games out for the Nintendo 64 that call on the expansion pack. Some of them actually require them. And so I have a handful in my collection, which I'd like to show to you today. First is Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. So if you've seen the movie Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, there's a big scene that includes pod racing. And Episode 1 Racer is essentially a game based around pod racing. So you can pick from up to, I think, 20 different pod racers. You can race on up to a dozen different planets. I'm not really sure. It's been quite a while since I played this game, but lots of different planets, lots of different locales. And yes, you can play the exact same race that they played in the movie, which was on Tatooine. You can play as Anakin Skywalker, but you can play as several different species of aliens and several different types of pod racers. Anyway, this claims on here that it is expansion pack enhanced. Now, you do not have to use the expansion pack to play this game. You can play through the entire game without the expansion pack. And to be honest, I don't know what the expansion pack does to enhance this game. I suspect makes it a little bit smoother, enhances the frame rate. So if you've tried playing a game from 30 frame rates up to 60 frame rates, you should notice a difference in the way it plays. So 60 frame rates or frames per second actually adds quite a bit of detail, makes it a lot smoother in terms of how it plays. So I believe that might be one of the major differences with Episode 1 Racer. Okay, the next game is Excitebike 64. This is a great game on its own. Just like Episode 1 Racer, it can be played entirely without the expansion pack. And in fact, that's how I did it, because this is one of the first Nintendo 64 games I've owned. And I believe I played through the entire game without the expansion pack. I got the expansion pack, played the game, and what it does, this version with the expansion pack, I believe, adds letterbox, so widescreen viewing. Could be wrong about that. Like, it's been quite a while since I've even turned on my 64. Okay, so maybe I need to hand in my gamer card for a little bit, but it definitely adds a little bit to the graphics, makes it a little bit smoother, a little bit better to watch. Anyway, that's Excitebike 64. Definitely still entirely playable without the expansion pack. Next is Donkey Kong 64. This game is absolutely unplayable without the expansion pack. That is, you have to have the expansion pack in order to play this game. In fact, my expansion pack came with this. So, you see here up in the corner, expansion pack included. So it was really exciting. Yes, I had my Nintendo 64. I knew that it only had the jumper pack, but with this, the expansion pack included, I was ready to play. Great game. I recommend this. It's a lot of fun. So if you like the Donkey Kong Country games, if you like Super Mario 64, if you want to think what kind of game would you get if you merged the two games together, well, you'd probably come up with something like Donkey Kong 64. Great game. Try it out. And last but not least on my expansion pack games is Perfect Dark. And how appropriate, because the lighting in here is really bad. It's so dark that if I go like this, you can't even tell what's on the box. Anyway, Perfect Dark. Some of the features in this game require the expansion pack. You can, however, play some of the game without it. And it's got a really nice list on the back of the box, which I'll just read off for you quickly. Multiplayer challenges. Yes, you can play without the expansion pack. Solo missions. So if you were trying to play through the game, the story mode, this is not possible without the expansion pack. So to get through the story mode, you have to have the expansion pack. 1 to 2 player multiplayer combat simulator. We're talking like deathmatch here. That is possible, yes. 1 to 4 player deathmatch, not possible. So if you've got at least 2 other players to play with, you have to have the expansion pack to play deathmatch on this. 1 to 2 player co-op does require the expansion pack. 2 player counter-operative. I'm not sure what that means. I think that might be going through the story mode, but playing against each other. I'm not really sure. 2 player counter-operative. If you know, put it in my comments section. Okay, I haven't done it. I haven't played this game with 2 players very much. And if I did, it was years ago. Okay, so leave me a comment. Tell me what 2 player counter-operative means. And up to 8 simulants is allowed without the expansion pack. Okay, so that, I assume that means 1 to 2 player playing with bots or computer AI. So, right, if you wanted to play Perfect Dark story mode, you need the expansion pack. So that's my list of games that require the expansion pack or allow it. That is the Nintendo 64 expansion pack. Remember, if you're looking for a Nintendo 64 online, if you can, try to find one with that red and the little dots in the grill there. thank you again for watching. Sorry if I made this video a little short. It's getting kind of late at night, and I want to make sure that I get this video up on YouTube to meet my Sunday deadline. And if you're waiting for that, thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad that you can join me. And share my videos with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel. And definitely leave a comment down in the comment section. Ask me questions. I love to hear from you. I want to know who's watching my videos. Okay? I don't want to just be random strangers. Come on. Be friends with me. Subscribe to my channel. I'll subscribe to yours if I haven't. And I just can't thank you enough for watching. Anyway, check out my other videos. Join me next week. Leave me a comment. Subscribe. I think I've said all those things half a dozen times already. But thank you again. See you next week.